Hi, I'm Chris Gritter. I'm the instructor of record for reading and writing in the content areas for the summer of 2014. And I'd like to begin by going over some of the important parts of the syllabus and then talking about your first assignment, which is the metaphors paper, which I would like you to post on Blackboard under discussions. So here goes. Pardon me if I don't have great eye contact. I'll be looking down at the syllabus. So this is a blended learning class. So the first part of the class will involve some online learning where you are reading 2 textbooks. And so by the time that we meet, you will have some prior knowledge about some of the conversations in secondary literacy. And then we'll meet in class several times. That's kind of the organization of the course. This class will meet on Monday and Wednesdays from 4:30 to 7:30 from July 21st to August 15th. And if you need to contact me, you can contact me at grittk at spu.edu anytime, and I'll be happy to answer your questions. One thing to know, though, is the first week in July, I will be leaving town for 5 days. I will be checking my email at night, but I won't be doing any intensive grading during that week, just to let you know. Okay, so I'm looking at the syllabus now, and I am going to go to the second page, the bottom of the second page, where it says required texts. And there are 2 textbooks for this class. And then there will be several articles that I will be posting on Blackboard later this quarter that will have to do with teaching literacy in your particular subject area. So it will be very contextualized. And hopefully, the more contextualized the article and the research is, the more useful you will find it. So the first textbook is called Subjects Matter. Second edition, Exceeding Standards Through Powerful Content Area Reading, and the authors are Daniel and Zimmelman. It's a text that just came out this year. There is a first edition that you can actually use that came out a few years ago, but this one is more up to date. And you can order that off any online bookseller site. And the second text is also by Daniels and Zimmelman. It's called Content Area Writing, Every Teacher's Guide. There's also an additional author, Steinke. That's the 2007 edition, is the most recent writing text. And like I said, the other texts for this class will be articles, and they will be placed on Blackboard under content. But I would like to bring you the most up-to-date research. So I want to do a little bit of research this summer before I present you the options for those articles. So I want to talk briefly about the course objectives for this class. First of all, I want you to be able, by the end of this course, I want you to be able to demonstrate knowledge of the importance of reading and writing and academic language as part of content area instruction. I really believe that every secondary teacher is a literacy teacher, and I want you to take on that mantle. Now, the second objective is that I want you to be able to incorporate research-based effective reading and writing strategies to improve learning for diverse learners. Now, the problem is that there aren't too many research-based effective reading and writing strategies, but there are a whole lot of good ideas out there. So the worst case scenario, you're implementing some good ideas by master teachers. They may not be heavily research-based. Unfortunately, content area literacy is relatively, not new, but relatively unexamined. And the third objective for this course is that I want you to be able to stand up and teach a content area literacy mini lesson based on what you think are best practices in reading and writing instruction, as well as based on the knowledge of your discipline. So what's different about this course? I'm on page 3 of the syllabus now. This is a blended learning course. Half will be online, and the last 4 weeks we will meet twice a week. For the first half of the class, You're going to write one paper based on your existing metaphors of knowledge, teaching, and literacy, and you'll also be blogging 5 times based on your reading of the textbooks. And I call this genre a bloggery. They are blog summaries of the reading. And the genre for the bloggeries is kind of a problem and solution format. So you start off responding to a problem that I've posted or prompted you to respond to. And then based on the reading, I would like you to come up with a solution or two to that problem. So the first two, or maybe the first paragraph of your bloggery, you're responding and summarizing a problem based on the reading that you've done. The second or following paragraphs will be based on solutions. Okay, so on page 3 I tell you a little bit about who I am, and I'm coming from an English language arts middle school background, and I believe that my knowledge base kind of affects the way that I teach in ways that you might appreciate or ways that you do not appreciate. Unfortunately, we do not have enough STEM people in literacy. They mainly come out of English language arts, and mainly they are female. And so we have kind of this gap in knowledge, I think as a result of maybe genderized communication, but also not having deep understandings of some of the 4 core, like math and science and even history or social studies. Okay, as far as attendance goes, once we start meeting in class, 1 late arrival is excused. 1 absence is excused. But after that attendance, or that lack of attendance, I will take away 2 points for every time that you're absent. And every time that you're tardy to class, 1 tardy is excused, but after that first tardy, I will take away 1 point. So this class is worth 100 points, so that could end up in some deductions from your total point system, or your point value. Okay, I'm now on page 5 of the syllabus. The first thing that I want you to do is to actually watch this video. And then I want you, if you haven't done it already, order your textbooks. The third thing I would like you to do is I would like you to let me know your URL for your B portfolio. I will be grading your bloggeries right off of your B portfolio. So I need to know what URL site that I need to go to. Okay. Okay, and the first assignment is a metaphors paper. Now, a few years back, I wrote an article on why teaching this class is so difficult. We're coming from different worlds. We're coming from different knowledge bases. We're coming from different kind of prior knowledge about what good teaching looks like. And we may be coming from different constructs of literacy. So I used metaphors and colliding metaphors as a way to show these complications. So I'd like you to read this article. And I would like you to identify the metaphors that you are currently working under. So I've posted this a bit, or I put this on Blackboard under content, but your metaphors paper, I want to talk a little bit more about. It's 25% of your grade, so do your best work. It's a big chunk of your grade, and it's due July 7th. And it should be about 4 to 5 pages double-spaced, Times New Roman font, 12-point font. And like I said, first read the article. And then I would like you to organize your paper thusly. And add appropriate headings to make it more reader-friendly. First of all, introduce yourself. Who are you? What do you plan to teach? What is your why is your content area important for democracy or to be fully human? I want you to think about these deep things. And why do you want to teach anyway? I mean, I'd like to get to know you in this paper. Then, I would like you to answer the 4 questions that I pose on page 152 of the article. Thirdly, based on your responses from number 2, I want you to do some interpretive thinking. Assign yourself metaphors, and they may be mixed metaphors, but tell me how they are mixed metaphors, for knowledge, teaching, and literacy. If none of my metaphors work, I want you to invent your own. But give that metaphor a name and then define that metaphor. And then everyone should briefly explain why the metaphors you selected map onto your responses from number 2. For those 4 questions that I posed. So you need to make sure that you're making the relationship between your responses to the 4 questions and the metaphor that you selected very clear. Then I want you to think about, do your metaphors that you've selected, do they collide or do they gel well? So do your metaphors for knowledge, teaching, and literacy align well, or do they collide? And I'd like you to explain that. And it's okay if they collide. I just want you to be aware that they collide. And then I want you to ask yourself, remember, I'm coming from an English language arts background, and I offer some suggestions for how to solve this content area literacy teaching and learning conundrum. But I'm biased, and I'm coming from my own knowledge tribe. So I want you to think, do you agree with my suggestions for bettering content area literacy instruction? Or are they just more proof that I'm an outsider and I don't understand your knowledge base? And I would like you to support your claims. I do not mind if you disagree with me. Fact is, I'm not the expert in your knowledge base that you are. And then finally, what you need from a class such as this in order to be the best first-year teacher that you can be? And it could be that I cannot supply that to you. It could be that what you need doesn't exist yet. But it's a good question to ask. So that's your first assignment. If you have any questions whatsoever, please email me, and I look forward to being in touch with you. See you later. Bye.